All you gotta do is make it hot, and then you know you got my body locked. All you gotta do is make it hot, and then you know you got my body locked. You got my body, got my body, you got my body locked. You got my body, you got my body locked. You got my body. Distance with you, 'cause it's been a long time since I had a man to make me feel the way you do. You know I'm really feeling you. The situation is hard to explain. You never put your hands on me, but I feel on the street. The situation is hard to explain. You never put your hands on me, but I feel on the street.
Yo, what's up? Hello. Abdallah, Shanzina, it's good to see you. Hope you're having a good week so far. This is unusual. I don't usually just stream during the week, but I kind of had some stuff on my mind about the extension, so I thought, why not stream it? I'm going to be working on it anyway. But yeah, we'll see if it becomes normal. Probably not. Alright. So this is stream 2 of the extension. Last stream we worked on basically making or going through the flow of an extension, like what was involved in terms of back end, front end, that kind of stuff. We didn't really touch on the back end too much because we were just looking at the Twitch configuration service. And so this stream, what I want to do is go back to the Would You Rather example and maybe not recreate that exact example, but sorry, I'm about to sneeze. That was unsatisfying. I didn't sneeze. But yeah, maybe not recreate that exact example, but rebuild it with our framework of choice, which I haven't really decided on yet, so we'll see. I didn't come to the last stream. What's the extension about? So at the moment we're kind of in the phase of still learning like how the extension flow works. So there isn't really a concrete idea for what the actual extension will do yet, but yeah, it's more of just learning the hello world type example. I think we might end up just making something pretty basic, or I might make something just specifically for this stream as a first go. I've got a slivering nose now. Right, let's switch to this screen. Whoops, switch to gameplay. Okay, so the Would You Rather developer rig, I guess, is what they gave us to work with. In the demo, I made this backend folder just as a test, but we didn't really do anything with it. Codes, what's up? Weekday stream, indeed. Probably not gonna be normal, but I don't know, I kind of just felt like working on this again. I've been thinking about it. Anyway, hope you're all having a lovely week so far. I might make it Wednesdays would probably be a good weekday stream because it's like in the middle of the week. Yeah, I'm gonna make a folder. We're just gonna call this what should we call it? Would you react? Would you react? A suitable thing. So basically what we're going to try and do is recreate the Would You Rather front end, the config, but in React, because I had an idea. Well, I'm pretty sure it's already been done, so there will probably be documentation already, but creating an extension with React is probably entirely possible, just because React and other frameworks compile down to, in the end, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So it's like, it makes complete sense that you should be able to do that. And that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna see if we can get the basic the interface working in the extension. And that will be ideal. Now it's gonna be slightly complicated because Well, I don't know if it'll be actually, because obviously React only has one entry point, which is the index, and everything is rendered around that. Oh, let me actually run create React app in this while we're talking, because it takes forever. And I'm actually going to do it with TypeScript because TypeScript is pretty sweet. I want to do some coding today as well, but still digging through some more React stuff to understand it better before I jump into more converting. Okay, nice. Yeah, I think that's definitely like bashing your head against a wall that you don't understand can be really frustrating. I've definitely had my fair share of that as well. It just makes for a miserable experience. So reading around and sort of just letting it sink in is sometimes just the best thing to do. It definitely kind of felt like that when I started picking up React. I must have told this story like a million times now, but when I started picking up React for an overlay some years ago, that was just a miserable experience. So I'm glad I dropped it there and I came back to it, you know, much later, because it felt like probably that entire time that I wasn't looking at it, it was kind of just, I don't know, just stating in the back of my head or something. I can finally tell Totes. I can finally tell you the story of the dream I had that you were in, because I felt like I mentioned this before, but I didn't get to touch on it because I was already in the middle of doing something. So let's see where to begin. It's not that bad. Basically, what happened was, okay, this was like maybe a week ago or like 2 weeks ago. I don't remember, but I can remember the fact that you were in it just because of the story itself. Nothing weird happened, don't worry. But basically what happened was, I think this was just before I woke up. What happened was, I was in the dining room at, I think it was my grandma's house, and it was like a Christmas, it was a Christmas dinner, basically. But actually no, it was a Christmas lunch, because it was in the afternoon. And my family were all there, like extended family and everything, and it was like scarily accurate, like who would be there and who would be late and, you know, all that nonsense. And we went into the living room to watch TV, and Totes was sitting on like one of the big armchairs. And the reason why I find this hilarious was because I didn't know what Totes looks like, first of all. But the reason why I knew it was Totes was because the person in the armchair was wearing a black jeans, a black hoodie with the hood up, and he was wearing a mask with Totes's bird avatar like on the mask. So I knew, for some reason, I just knew. Obviously, I knew it was Totes because it was the bird logo. But yeah, other than that. And then I think I woke up after that, so yes, that bird. And that's how I knew it was Toads. I just find it funny that my brain put in that placeholder for you. It's just hilarious. It didn't like try to just invent a random person, because I guess my brain can only configure people based off of, you know, who I've seen. I don't know if I've ever dreamt of someone I've never seen before. I think I possibly could. Maybe I could like mash up a face somewhere. I don't know. Probably. I don't think it's very common though. Hashtag branding success. True. It was like I just knew straight away. Nessa, what's up? It's good to see you. Hello. Hope you're having a lovely Tuesday. Okay. So we have our React let's run this. npm run start. This is our classic starting screen. Have you done anything with React Bootstrap by any chance? I have not, no. I imagine it's regular Bootstrapped, but React? To be honest, I haven't played with too many React design frameworks before. Maybe just one, which I think was Ant. Ant Design, and I can't remember the name of the other one. You're well, that's good. I am doing good, thank you. Yeah, I've had a pretty relaxed yet semi-productive day. So I'm topping off the rest of the productivity with seeing if we can work more on our Twitch extension. Right now we're just doing a basic hello world type. Also, I apologize for the white screen. It's getting pretty dark here, so that made me flinch. Coming up to winter now after all. Actually no, we've just started autumn even. It's spooky season. Ooh, we could make like a Halloween extension. But what would it do? There's so many different like possibilities for stuff, extensions, yet I can't think of like anything that I would make. Weird. Watching a video that's using it seems pretty handy. Seems it's not just CSS per se, but Bootstrap has a list of pre-made components you can use with React as well. Ah, so sort of more like utility functions and stuff like that. That would be neat. I wanted to get into Tailwind, but oh, maybe we could use Tailwind for this actually, because Tailwind, I feel like Tailwind doesn't scale very well because the classes can get pretty monka-s when you have a lot of components, or just a lot of HTML, or JSX I should say. For something small like this, it could work. Right, well, I'll keep that in mind when we make this. So, actually, you know what? Using a design framework for this extension is not a bad idea, because it is just a small extension. But then again, we probably want to make it stylized. We don't want to just make it look like we just pulled it out of XYZ package. So I guess there's, well, we could combine both. I mean, we could use both, or we could just go to CSS modules. Oh yeah, that's one thing I do want to try is CSS modules, is using those more. I haven't actually used them in a proper project yet. We should do that as a start. All right, so we have our app. Basically, okay, this is served right now on localhost 3000, and we have referenced our base URL on localhost 3000. So we need to access config, live config, and panel HTML. Or we'll just skip live config for now. But definitely config and panel viewer is where we need the actual extensions to show. So my first thought was to create other HTML files, but I feel like that might not work the way I intended. So I'm thinking React Router might be the best thing to do. I'm gonna I'm gonna give it a shot and we'll see if it works. But basically, it'll just be a way to divide our app into 3 parts. Right. Install, it did. Okay. Let's remove these. And actually, we don't need links. I just realized. Because in a normal router, you would have like a bar at the top. You click on link you want to go to and it'll change page, right? But we don't actually need that in the extension because you don't need to switch between the config and the panel. You only want to show one at a time depending on the URL. Actually, it's the URL that defines which page you should be looking at, which means that actually simplifies some things, I think. Let's import as a router. Oh, you want me to install the types? I keep forgetting. That's the thing you have to do with TypeScript, is actually installing types. It should just detect if you're using TypeScript and just auto install the types. I feel like that. Why can't it do that? We need a switch. And we need a root. So these components will help say, hey, yo, we want to be looking at this page. Root. We'll just do 2 for now. And the path, so we want 1 for config. And we want 1 for panel. And then I guess we could have a default. No, let's not have a default yet. But let's make the components. We want a config. Oops. Config. TSX. And panel TSX. So in config, let's do config. And then we'll just return. Let's just return an H1 for now. We'll say this is the config page. I don't need any props, I don't think, so I'm actually going to take this out. This is the panel page, the big page, and then let's make a roll up. Export all as config on config, and export everything as panel from panel. So now we should be able to go back into our app and import config and panel, and then we can use these. So this is what we want to render. Oh, doesn't like that, does it? Can I just do this? I feel like I can't export default if I do this. You know what? Let's just do it the old way, because I think this is going to give me issues. I don't think it knows that this is JSX. I don't think this knows it's a component, sorry. Export config panel. There we go. So it knows now that this is supposed to be config and that this is supposed to be panel. Okay, so let's run that. So, oh yikes, that's still really blinding. Let's just make the default, where's body? Index, CSS. Background, color. 3B, I think is a good dark. Oh, you know what? 0B. There you go. It's a dark. So if we do config HTML, actually I can't tell if that even worked. Didn't. Wait, let me. How do we want to do this? I can just do this. H1 color red. This is the config page. I wonder if this needs to be exact. Nope. Let me try restarting. Yo, what? I have something. Hold on. Config. This is the right app. No, browser router. Things wrong. Oh, do these need... There we go, I was missing the slash. Okay. So config and panel. These are two panels pages. These React Bootstrap components are pretty poggies. Maybe I'll have to check it out. I can't remember the last time I used Bootstrap, to be honest. Just like the default Bootstrap. It might have been, oh, maybe the last time I used it was on the Ultimate Alerts tool. The one that Scribs uses for testing alerts and stuff. I like I might have been the last time. Alright, well we do have our page, which is good. Now, does this work? This, I wonder. Do I need to do something else? showing up. Frame the so it does get the link. I go to that link, it does show me. Is this set to display none? Interesting. Oh. Thing on Twitch is keeping that off. I think this might be to do with script. Yo, Mr. Boost, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Hope you're well. I'm making a Nerdle Die Twitch extension. Ended up getting frustrated and quit. I definitely feel you there. I don't know how many projects I've tried to get a start on and then didn't really go anywhere. It's all on my old laptop though. So, fresh start on this new PC. Oh, just close the curtains. Getting dark. Okay, I hope you're having a good week so far. Raining again. The Mel. The documentation is trash. True. Yeah, I was going through the Would You Rather, the default one that they have on the rig, and the actual repository is like that they've linked on the official page it's bugged. First of all, we spent like 2 hours on the last stream just trying to figure out why it wasn't working, and it was because like there was a bug in the actual code where there was a race condition which was really annoying, and the actual tutorial doesn't even match up with the code, and the code on the last step isn't even complete. It was like, here's the complete code, but the code was missing from the actual thing, so that was annoying. Ay. But we do, okay, I think this is a script we need. Is looking up? Nice. I've been doing good, thanks, yeah. Apart from the rain. Weather's been all over the place. Twitch documentation, KEKW. KEKW is the right emote, but not gonna lie. Okay. I'm gonna slap down that there, and you know, since we're using, so basically what we're kind of stuck on right now is why the extension doesn't load here. I feel like it's to do with this, so maybe if we load this. Oh, hey, look at that. It just needed to know that it was a Twitch extension, which I guess it just needs to know that there's a script here. So actually, this should show up if we set it as a panel, because we have our panel route working. Hold on, wrong link. Hey, this is the panel page. It knows. Okay, so this was what we were missing. I wonder if there's a node package for this. Okay, that's just Twitch stuff, I guess. Twitch extension npm. There's a TypeScript package for it, which is good. Is it possible to get Twitch extension somewhere else except Twitch CDN? You can download the file and re-upload it anywhere you want, but for use in a Twitch extension, specifically say you have to use a Twitch CDN. For extension, you must use the helper from the URL only. Okay, so we can't actually use a package, I don't think, but we do have a types. So I'm gonna install that and we're gonna see if that works. It's types, so we should be able to just do save dev. Okay. Does that mean I have access to... Wait, what was the code that we need? Would you rather config? So it's based off of this window. Once Twitch is windowed. Hey, look, it installed. We actually have access to that. Damn, okay. That is actually what we wanted. I wonder if we could just pass it in then, in that case. I looked and looked for maybe a complete and working template to start from. I couldn't find Dookie. I said edit. Yeah, Twitch really needs to like just... Oh, because I think they overhauled the developer, like the extension rig, like before. So I don't understand why it's still out of date. Reverse complete out my league. I don't know about that. You've worked on some pretty awesome stuff. I feel like you could probably tackle it if you put your mind to it. But yeah, I do agree that Twitch needs to clean up the documentation. Although, let's be honest, they're probably working on... Well, hopefully they're working on a lot more than that at the moment. I don't know what's going on at Twitch, but you know, it's the good old Twitch. I kind of wanted to just pass in Twitch separately, but I think we'll just refer to it here. Because what I could have done was just pass it in through as a prop down here. But let's just do it here. Let's console log what Twitch is and see if we actually get something back from that. Ooh, hello. Actions, follow channel, minimize, unfollow, unsubscribe. I wonder if these are actual like things that the extension can do. Like, can the extension react to subscribe and it? Get products? I don't know what half of these things do, but like, that's not tracking viewer. Let's not get ahead of ourselves actually, because it's easy to fall down a rabbit hole like that. Let's just try and convert this. So this is the developer rig code that from the existing extension. I believe it was a game of Would You Rather. Yeah, it was. So it's like, it's supposed to show you options and then you tick what you want and then it saves it and then it shows it in the extension. Might be overlay extension functions. True. Yeah, so I think that's actually right because this is a helper. It was a helper extension or like a variable thingy. Sorry, a library. So those must be what the extension can do. It would be cool if we managed to get the extension to send messages to chat. So maybe we should try and, well, let's just get the interface working first before we lose ourselves. So we want to recreate this in React, I guess. That should be fun. What is this? So this is config HTML. Let me make this bigger. Scope creep, yay! We love scope creep. Love scope creep. I say wearily. Okay, so we have the checkboxes, we have the form. Do we want to make it a form? Or should we just do a button and submit? Just make our own form. I feel like a form is probably closer to semantic HTML though. Like, we should keep it as HTML, native HTML as possible. There's different ways to go about it. We'll just do a regular form. We'll see how that goes. You know what? I'm gonna put this here because I like seeing the full screen. Actually, no, I'll put this here, and I'll just. I wish you could make some of the screen smaller. That would be nice. Maybe in the future. Okay, so this is our config. So this is the configuration panel that the user sees. We had a form. Hello. You need to close, don't you? Oh, none of these inputs close. That's actually not surprising though. That's why it couldn't format. Is there an issue still? There is. Oh, it's this BR. There we go. Oh, in HTML. Oh, sorry, in JSX, this needs to be HTML4. Here we go. Cool, we have our form now. Oh, yeah, that's right. So there's a HTML element called field set, and it groups them up into dilemma options. I haven't actually used that before. That's neat. Legend. Dilemma options. Let's make a CSS module. Forms would group the data more properly, assume. Yeah, I think so. I think it's probably just easier to do the submit that way, and we can just prevent default, even though, like, I know you mentioned a thing about just having a button doing it before, but I mean, at the end of the day, this is just a regular form. Where do we want to do that? So in styles, recently I've started using CSS modules a bit more. So CSS modules are basically a way to separate CSS by the component, which is really awesome because that way you have no CSS overlapping. You can reuse as many classes or even element IDs as you want, and everything will still be separate. Because at build time, it generates a random like string for each component. If I do something like this, config module Sass. Oh, I need to install Sass. BMI no Sass. Well, actually, will this work with if I don't install Sass? Let me see. If I call this form, well, let me call it form, and then I'll go background color red. And what I can do is in config import styles as from styles config module Sass. Now if I go here and do class name and go styles dot form, let's see if that worked. Okay, I can't find Sass, so I do need to install Sass. I mentioned it only because I'm still new, and to me that one requires not turning off at default. Feels like it's a better choice. I don't know the nuances of the two types. Yeah, so it's basically, there's this thing called semantic HTML, which is basically where you try to use as much of native HTML as you can. It's similar to the question why you don't just use a div for everything. You know, like a header, why would you use a header element when it's basically just a wrapper like a div is, kind of thing. And some people do that. Some people just use divs for everything. And I don't think there's like a hard reason why you shouldn't, but semantic HTML keeps things readable. So if you went through this and you saw form, then you automatically know that this is a form and you do something like you submit it. But if this was a div and then you saw inputs, you might not know that immediately that it was supposed to submit anywhere. Maybe it's just an input that's local to the page, you know? I think that's probably the main reason. Is there a thing on that? I feel like there is. Semantic HTML. Meaning, right, so the meaning of web pages and stuff. I guess, yeah, that makes sense. It's something I need to get better at because there's like a whole host of HTML elements that, you know, have specific uses, and it's better to use those where possible. Accessibility, since screen readers care about the type of tag. True, yeah, that's also another good reason why. I definitely need to do a better job of accessibility and stuff like that. So it's a good shout. Okay, we've done the form. Now let's see if this works. I might need to start this again. I'm gonna go to config. Hey, it worked. So on the background, you should be able to see what thing it's generating. Config underscore form underscore random letters. So basically, if I have another module, for example, if I have panel module, and I also have form, say form blue, that's the same class, right, as in this, but let me quickly do this. Styles panel, and then I go styles or class name styles form. It should, yeah, be different, but it's the same class technically. At least it looks like it's the same class. But then it's separated by the actual module it's in. So that's pretty neat. And literally, you don't need to even install anything for CSS modules. All you have to do is add the word module after the, or before the file extension, I guess. Because you can use them as CSS or you can use them as Sass. It's up to you. But I definitely like that scope keeping everything scoped to the component, because that was something in Vue I felt like Vue did better over React. In React, you could go the BEM route, which was like doing class name, and then what was this, config, and then under that you would have like class name, config, field set, and something like that, which I guess is also doable. And I actually do use this for other stuff because I haven't really switched to using CSS modules yet. But I do like the idea that the builder is generating these unique strings, because it keeps everything together without you having to name it yourself, and all you have to do is reference it like an object. I don't know how it works for referencing other things, because I know you just do this for classes. I don't know how you reference IDs and other more complicated things, so we'll pick it up when we get to that. If we do, I don't think we need to make it that complicated. Okay. Let's separate these out. So we should, instead of repeating all of these again, we should just make these options. And actually, let's do something different. Let's not would you rather. Let's do something like I don't know. What would be a good? Is there a what kind of data point that we can use, I wonder? Random data. Mockaroo, random data generator. I don't really need user data though. I just wanted a list of foods JSON. We could just make, why don't we just make a Chipotle extension? Oh yes, this is perfect. Yes. Okay. Oh man, this is amazing. I'll show this. Chipotle, all the different burritos, tacos. I don't know what this restaurant is. Panera. Burger King, I know of. We have a Burger King here. Subway, we have Subway. Chick-fil-A, we don't have Chick-fil-A. Actually, we do have some. I think it's new still. I think most of the restaurants are based in London, but there are definitely Chick-fil-A's opening up in the UK. McDonald's, of course. McDonald's are like everywhere. Wendy's, we don't have a Wendy's. Taco Bell, I think, is also new. We don't have Arby's. Hardee's, I've never even heard of it. Five Guys. Actually, we do have Five Guys, but that's also still new. In-N-Out, we don't have. Sonic. You have a restaurant called Sonic. Panda Express, I've heard of, but we don't have that, I don't think. Cookout. I don't think we have Cookout. This is perfect. Okay. You know what? I'll just paste it. I can just import this. Oh, whoops. JSON. food JSON. Perfect. Stealing. Hey, it's in a public repository on GitHub. It's not stealing. Although, what is the actual project? I didn't actually look. Calorie counter. Oh, there you go. Oh wow, this is actually more... What language is this in? Oh, it's in JavaScript. Base chat box that will calculate calories by trips to different fast food restaurants. Enabled from a Facebook Messenger chatbot that can be accessed on the Facebook page. Oh, that's actually pretty neat. Uses AWS Lex, a service that contains the intelligence to be able to decipher user requests and trigger intents based on data in the models. Then invokes Lambda functions. So I guess you're like, hey, so I just had a pizza. And they ask you what kind of pizza, and then you give it. And it's like, okay, you had this. Or something like that. That's pretty neat. I wonder where they acquired all of this data from, though. Who knows? We don't really even need all of this extra stuff. I just wanted a list of what we'll, oh yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll have we'll have different drop downs. So you choose a restaurant and then you choose the food type you want. And then you submit, and that's like, and then we'll just build up a list of different stuff that people are submitting. Yes, that's like the best idea. Food API. Alright, so import food from JSON food. Now we should be able to go, let's log food and check that we're getting food. Unexpected end of JSON input. It's pretty mean. I wonder if we need to import this just as a weird type. Import everything as food. Let me restart probably the websites. If they typed everything out by hand, then kudos. Bro, what? Import JSON React. Wire. JSON loader. Oh, we need JSON loader. And I think I can just do this again. Restart. Bruh. Import food. Import everything as food. What? I just loaded. I just added JSON loader. Oh. I have to use require syntax. Const food equals require food. Still unable to import. Since Webpack 2 version 2 and above, importing of JSON will work by default. Well, I beg to differ. Import JSON React TypeScript. I wonder if I need to add something to tsconfig. What everything is data from. That's what I just did. Oh, that's what I thought. Okay, resolve JSON module is true. Yes. Oh, that's already true. And what is going on? Oh, did I save? You've got to be kidding. Alright, let me uninstall JSON loader. I don't think I saved the JSON. Maybe why it's giving me that issue. Oh my god, I think it worked. Big. It worked. Okay, I'm just an idiot. That's fine. We already knew that. I should have. I pasted it in and then I formatted it and then I was like, I didn't save it. Okay, well, you know what? It's fine. We didn't need JSON loader. Webpack just does it. It's all good. So we don't want a drop down. Oh no, we don't want a checkboxes now. I guess we want we still want field set. I guess we could. Let's keep the field set just in case. We do want food map should we? I guess let's just call it group because it's like a group of stuff. And then we want to return input type select. Oh no, it's not select. Select where, hold on, this should be a div. Where the label is the restaurant name. Let's go group restaurant. And then in the select, we should do group food items map for each food item. A return option where item is the food name. And that will be the value as well. The name of this will be restaurant. Let's see if that works. Greet. Each child in a list should have a unique key. True. Let's do key group. So the key, we'll just make it the index. And wait, oh, I keep forgetting. This needs a key as well because it's another list, another map. There we go. Gasp. All that food. Your chat overlay doesn't animate emotes. Oh. Interesting. I wonder why. Oh, you know what? It's probably because... Wait. Oh, you know what? I know why. Because if they're Twitch emotes, they will probably I think I'm just getting the ID and then I'm just using the ID.png. But that's a good shout. I should add that to my list of updates. I wonder how you would differentiate them then. Because Twitch would then need to tell you what's a GIF and what's not. Okay, yes. With BTTV, it was easy because when you make the call and it returns the emotes, it tells you what type of emote it is. Like if it's a static image or if it's a GIF. A good shout though. Well, we do have our thing. This is actually wrong though, because we need to pick the... I just realized that I did it wrong because we need to pick... We don't want to map through every restaurant. We want to make a select of all the restaurants first. So we actually only need 2 selects. So you know what? Let's comment that out. Select the restaurant you want. Restaurant. So we want 1 select. And then we want to go food, map, group, or restaurant. No, just group. Return option, group, restaurant, BI. Cool, we have our restaurants. Now, depending on the restaurant that is selected, we want to show the other select, which is of the which is showing the options of that restaurant. So we want to do select, let's use state. So we have use state, we have restaurant, set restaurant. Equals use state And then our default restaurant will just be the top one. Do we want to set that programmatically? Should we do this? I could do it by index actually. Index might be a better way to do it. So I'll set the index to 0. Think about how to differentiate animated versus static Twitch emotes. Ooh, you tell. You tell. The value of this should be I. Well, you know what? Why don't we make this null? And then we make the default option nothing. We just make this selected. And this will be default select a restaurant. Select restaurant. How'd you like them apples? Use default value or value instead of setting selected on option. Oh, you want this to be default value. Oh, you want this to be value. Can I make this value null? No, it has to be a string. Let's just make this empty then. And then I'll just make this an empty string. There we go. I also want this to be disabled so you can't select this. There we go. Animated emotes are prefaced with emotes version 2 underscore as part of the ID. Oh, okay. I guess all I need to do is look for that then. And I know I can just return a GIF. Sweet. Thanks for letting me know. I'll make that update the next stream. I remember. I should. Let's see. So also this red is kind of blinding now, so I'm gonna actually change that. Let's make it, what's the color I've learned recently? 4444FF. Oh yes, that's the color I remember. Like this blue. Light salmon. Light salmon. That's light slate gray. I forget about all these different default. That's a nice color. Oh, is that one of the colors you're using for your game? I feel like I recognize this color from your game. I think I'm gonna get rid of field set. I don't like it. I mean, it's nice for grouping a bunch of options, but we've only got one. Oh, maybe we'll keep it. I don't know. Food selector orderer. Food selector orderer thing. There we go. Select the restaurant you want. And when we pick a thing, that will set what we will want to do is do on change handle select restaurant. And this function will take in the value E is of event React select or change event HTML select element, and we want to do set restaurant E target value, and that should set the value to the E value, I guess it's a string, right? It has to be a string. Yeah, it is. Okay. It's an index, but the index is a string, which makes sense. So I guess we'll do that. Do I want it to be a string? I don't know. No, I don't want it to be a string. Or do I? I think I want it to be a number. Right now the colors just help me see different divs. They have no design value. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. You can always update the colors. Int. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set it to a color. To a number, and then this value will be -1. And then the actual value will be yeah, I guess I can actually make this -1 like a number. And the value of the select can be restaurant. And now if I go to components, we should see the state over here, I don't know if that's visible, is changing. And it's a number. Nice. Okay, that's what we wanted. In that case, what I can do is make the render the second select only when restaurant is greater than, doesn't equal -1. Because if it equals -1, then that means that a restaurant hasn't been selected yet. And then what we want to do is food restaurant dot food items group, and then it will be food name. There we go. We have select restaurant, select a restaurant, and it comes up with the other options for that restaurant. And actually that should be in a separate, if we want to do that. I guess I could do another BR. We'll clean this up. Here we go. Can I make a second legend? Like, no, actually it's a second text. Select the restaurant you want. and then return BR the select in there as well. Return the food, select the food you want. Oh, and I need another BR into that. Ooh, these all look so good. Okay, I think that's fine. That is fine. We want to turn this into the extension, so let's just separate those out so it's a bit easier to see what's going on. Then we have the submit. Okay, so submit should be disabled until oh, you know what? I should call this restaurant data, not food, because food is now going to be the selected food. Handle select food, and this will just select the food, and then the food will do BR you selected restaurant data restaurant food items food from restaurant data restaurant. There we go. Restaurant is undefined. Oh right, so this all needs to be a conditional right here. This should only work when restaurant is greater than or it doesn't equal -1 and food doesn't equal -1, because in that way we know that a food and a restaurant has been selected. I guess I'll just make this a string. Select the restaurant, Burger King, double bacon cheeseburger. Oh, hold on. We need to actually implement that function that we made while selecting the food. Select, okay, so we want to do on change, so same as before, handle select food. The value is actually the food, and then we also just need the default disabled option, which is the select food, and that's the default. So we go Burger King, select food, double Whopper with cheese. Bruh. Selected undefined. From undefined. Oh, because this is okay, this isn't a food, this is the food name. and then this is actually the restaurant. We accessed the right part of the array. Did we? Restaurant data. Restaurant data should be an array, which it is. We access the array using the index. We take food items. We access that. Oh, hang on. Did I not set a value here? That could be why. Okay, there we go. I just didn't actually set the value to the option, so it was like, I don't know what value this is meant to be. Metal chips from Panera. Right, in that case, we can submit. I think. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's what I was doing. So we need to keep this button disabled if restaurant equals -1 or if food equals -1. Because that way we know that neither a restaurant nor food has been selected. In that case, okay, I think I spent way too long on that, which is not really necessary, but it's nice to build out an actual interface without using the options, the config that they gave us, so that's fine. So what was next? Then they submitted it. What happens when we submit? There is a jQuery that goes form on submit, prevent default, takes the options, it calculates which, so it finds which options are ticked, it pushes that into the options array, and then it goes into Twitch configuration, set broadcaster, JSON stringify options. That's what we want to do next then. We want to save that. So we know what the two... Oh no, this is a config. What am I even doing? This is the panel. Like, this is what the user should see, not the configuration. So the config should be a list of checkboxes saying, hey, we want to show these restaurants. Or we don't want to show these restaurants. Okay. In that case, I'm just going to copy this over to panel. I'm going to rename this panel. I'll rename this to panel. So panel should be that, and then config should be a list of options saying what we want. Right. So let's rework this again. Oh no, it's fine. We're good. For restaurant, so we don't want to. We'll keep it simple. We won't bother with the food or anything. Select the restaurants you want to show. And then for this, we iterate through every restaurant. We go restaurant blah blah blah, and we go input. Well, let's do this inside a div. Copy paste, indeed. And we'll go div. We'll go input and label. The label will be the restaurant name. The input will be type checkbox name restaurant value. It could be the name. It could be just the restaurant, I guess, name, or it could be an index. I don't know. We'll just make it the restaurant name. Then we don't need this. And we don't need this. We don't need these, and we don't need these. So that should just be... Oh, what's up there? Unexpected token. Oh. Mistake. Is it still complaining? What is it complaining about? Here we go. Select the restaurants you want to show. So by default, let's have all of them checked. And then we also need the on change event. The on change handle check restaurants. So const handle check restaurant takes in a React change event of type HTML input. I don't think we need this. Can we include a custom type in option 2? Custom type option 2. What kind of type do you mean? Custom type? Which option? Do you mean here? Like a custom attribute? Custom type. Type is in the verb. Oh, a custom type, like a custom restaurant. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. That's a good question, actually. I think the answer is yes, because if Twitch, the Twitch configuration service is a key value service, so we should be able to just store whatever we want. Oh, just an other? I thought you want. We could have a checkbox, a text box where you type in a custom restaurant and then you do that, but then you would need to also type in food items, I guess. For now, we could just do the other like you suggested. So let's just do this. All we need to do is just put that under the map. Your first idea was what I was thinking? Okay. And let's... help the users type in for the config. Yeah. I see what you mean. What I think is slightly tricky is I'm reading in this custom JSON, but I don't know how that will work on the Twitch front end. Like, that JSON file is... I guess it counts as an asset. Yeah, I guess it counts as an asset, because otherwise I would need to paste it in here. But then everything's built together, so I think it should be... I'm just trying to think of like how it gets the options in the first place, and then the second time round where it gets the options from. Because the first time round it gets the options from like the default. But then once we save a set of values, that will be what it reloads next, I think. Well, we'll add that in a bit, I think, because we'll have to test first that this is actually saving where we want it to. When we handle check restaurant, let's console log what we get there. So, untick this, we get an event, which is saying, hey, Burger King is now not checked. Oh no. Target value. Now, wait, I'm curious as to how it knows which checkbox. What? Okay, so we're checking that, but then we need checked. Okay, so yeah, we need to use use state again. Use states from React. So we go const restaurants set restaurant equals use state null. I'm just trying to think. Hold on. So when restaurants is null, so let's think of the first time that an extension is configured. When an extension is installed the first time, the data should all be default. So all of the restaurants should show as ticked. When they start ticking stuff, that's when we want to create a copy. Because that copy is what we're going to save. Copy of the settings. So we need to actually create a copy. So the default value in use state is what the copy is. So that's what the initial value is. So actually what we want to do here is we want to go restaurant data map for each restaurant. We'll say for each, we'll just say for each R restaurant. That's going to return an array of restaurants. Is that what we want though? Does an array of restaurants work? I think it does. Because then those are the restaurants that we want ticked. So if something is true, then it should be in the array. If it's false, we take it out of the array. So by default, we have all of the restaurants. And then we just go, we iterate through the restaurants. Each restaurant will actually be the restaurant itself, not the group. So we're basically creating on the initial start. The default is to create an array of all of the restaurants, and that's what we iterate through. And then when we handle check restaurant, what we should do is oh no, this is actually not what we want, because we want to keep all of the restaurants, but we need to, because if we start filtering them out, as soon as we untick it, the actual option itself disappears. I just realized, because if we take it out of the array, and the option is gone, and we can't tick it again. Actually, we do need to keep the array. So what we should do is we should map through each restaurant. We should map through the data and collect all of the restaurants, but we should return a tuple. So we want to return the restaurant name, and we want to return a value of true, because that way we can create an object out of this with from entries. So we go object from entries. So what this will basically give us is something like this. It will be an object where we have like Burger King true or Arby's false. That way we can keep a reference of the restaurants, and then when depending on whether the value is true or false is whether or not we show them. Or would a better way be to create our own array of objects? Restaurant visible. Actually, that might be a better way to do it. So instead of from entries, instead of a tuple, because that might look a bit confusing, we could just return an array, an object. The object should be name, or we should go restaurant, keep it consistent, R restaurant, checked, true, by default, because we want all of them to be true. And that way, instead of this, what we get is an array of restaurant, Burger King, checked, true. And then when we untick, we can just iterate through, find the restaurant of that name, and set checked to be false. And then when we go through restaurants, we should go restaurant, we go r dot restaurant, value r dot checked. Oh, actually checked will be checked. think that makes sense. So then we do set restaurants. So set restaurants is where we have to find the one that we want to update. The reason why I thought it would be a good idea to do as an object is that we could use destructuring. Maybe that still is a good idea. Actually, no, it's fine. We'll just do restaurants, which is the state itself, map each restaurant. If restaurant equals, oh, we do need the value again. Value r.restaurant. If the restaurant equals target value, then we should return restaurant where checked equals target checked. Otherwise, return R. So we're basically going through every single restaurant. We're saying, hey, does this restaurant equal the one that we've just checked? Because target value will be the checkbox that we just checked, the value of the restaurant. So if it is this restaurant, we should update the restaurant value of checked to be the new value of checked. So it's either true or false. And I just did rest to, I mean, it's only one other item, like one other property. So I could have just done restaurant, restaurant, but I mean, that's more characters. Because restaurant name is staying the same, so I can just be like, hey, just keep everything else the same. We only want to change checked. Otherwise, just return the restaurant itself. So I think that's it. So it should now keep an eye of the state. Yeah, there we go. Now, what I can do is I can slap in a use effect for the purpose of logging. Actually, no, we don't even need a use effect. What I can do is down here, and I can just do a BR. I can be like, hey, these are the selected restaurants. And then I can go restaurants, delta. We want the restaurants where checked equals true, and then I can go map restaurant span. Actually, let's not do a span. Let's just do list objects. And then I go R restaurant, and then just we'll wrap this in an ordered list. Hey, there we go. Hackermans, fields Hackermans. Sweet. Okay. So we have our list of selected restaurants. So that way we know which restaurants that the user wants to save. When we do submit, let's say on, I guess you're right, actually. We don't need, yeah, because the form is submitting, so it doesn't really make sense. Like, how would we do an event listener for this? I guess we just don't use the submit. We can still keep it as a form. We'll just make a button. Submit. And we'll say on click. Save restaurants. So we want to save these restaurants. So const restaurants. Const restaurants. We'll say data. Oh no, how should we word this? Restaurants to save. Restaurants to save. Will basically be restaurants where what we just did, restaurants where restaurants equals checked. Then we also want to create an array. Oh no, hold on. Filter R checked map R restaurants. So that will basically create an array of the selected restaurants. So we can console log that. Restaurant to save. Then I'm actually going to comment this out. Here we go. I only want to check Chipotle and Panda Express. And then I go submit. Oh. Why did that submit? I didn't even make it a submit button. React button event. Well, I don't remember what this is called. Click event. Mouse event, I think it is, might be. Prevent default. Okay, there we go. So we just want Chipotle and Panda Express. That should give us an array of Chipotle and Panda Express. Nice. So that is the data that we want to save. And I can actually just JSON stringify this because it needs to be a string. Like so. Okay, and then what we need to do is we need to send this to Twitch. So we say Twitch configuration set broadcaster version 1, which is also a string. Content restaurants to save. And we're basically saying, hey, these are the restaurants I want to save. I think that should work. It's not going to do anything because we're not actually in the Twitch environment right now, but if I go back to my extensions, and then I go to network, let's see if it does do something. Select Chipotle, I press submit. It didn't do anything. What the heck? What else are we missing? Date options, Twitch configuration set, JSON string file. That's what we did already. Do we need to set token somewhere? Let me see. When the config changes, update the panel. Twitch configuration unchanged. Update config. Set broadcaster 1. Hello? This button is hooked up to do stuff. Let me check. To log. Restaurants to save. Okay, so it is logging there, which is good. We do need to check though that we want to check that I don't know if this is saving. Let's check if we get the config back, because basically we need to also load these options back. Let's check. So we go Twitch. Where's Twitch? Unauthorized or JWT passed to backend for authentication. Save the credentials. Okay, so we don't. This isn't actually important right now. What we do want is Twitch configuration unchanged. Whoops. So does this actually provide any? Oh, it doesn't actually take any. It's just a void. Okay. If Twitch configuration broadcaster. So if that's undefined, then don't do anything. Otherwise, try const options or const restaurants, or we'll just say options for now, equals JSON pass, or let's just log Twitch configuration broadcaster content catch error console error e. See. I don't think this is actually doing anything. I'm gonna try uninstalling it. Let's go back. Install, configure. Do you do anything? You do. Okay, you do stuff now. Interesting. If I untick these, all of them except Panda Express, press submit. And then I reload this page. You just say Panda Express? You do. Where was it? Here, line 17. That's what we just got back. So, can actually set restaurants. So if I move this up so we have access to it, I can go set restaurants somewhere. What is it? Here. I need to pass these first of all. Listen, pass, switch, configuration, broadcaster, content. So this should be an array of our saved restaurants. And then I can go set restaurants. Restaurant data. Okay, so currently our saved restaurants will be an array of restaurants that we've saved, like Chipotle and Panda Express. So there could be 2 in there. But those aren't the only 2 that we want to show. We want to show all the original restaurants as well. We just want Panda Express and Chipotle to be the only ones that we ticked. So we want to go restaurant data map, the same as before, R, which is the restaurant, and then depending on if, okay, so we go if oh no, we want to set, we want everything to be the same. So we want restaurant R restaurant, could just do rest again. Hold on. You can just do R and then checked be false. This would actually set everything to be false, but we want it to be checked if saved restaurants index of our restaurant doesn't equal -1. So that means that if the restaurant is in our saved restaurants, it should be checked, otherwise it should be false. So if I refresh this, only Panda Express is checked. So it remembered what we wanted. I go McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, click submit. And then I refresh. It remembered it. Yay. Okay, so that's actually really good because now that means that we have persistence. And that means that on the panel front end, so the panel is where we wanted to actually show the restaurants. Can we preview the panel, or we can preview the panel from here? There's an error. Wait, I can just pop it out. Can I do this? I don't know. Bruh. Is the panel broken? It shouldn't be. Styles form, restaurant data, export panel. The mix ran out. Hold on, let me find something else. We're getting there very slowly. All right, have music again. So what's wrong with the panel? Why isn't it showing? Oh, okay, it is. It just needed a second to refresh. So this is where we're loading the panel. You know what? Let's make this light salmon as well for consistency. We want to show. Oh God, it's sizing up my chat when I zoom in. Can I just do this? It's literally the same thing. Why are you not loading in this? Right, whatever. Select the restaurant you want. So when panel loads, we want to do the same thing. We want to do Twitch, configuration, unchanged. Is this live? I don't know. Okay, we don't need to do an if statement because in the panel, it doesn't matter if they're the broadcaster or not. We just want to show the thing. So we should just do try const saved restaurants equals Twitch configuration broadcaster. Wait, is it broadcaster content? I don't see the panel on your channel. I think it doesn't show for other people while it's in testing mode. Or, I wonder if it's to do with... Oh, maybe it's... access? Wait, if I add totes to this, will you be able to see it in my... Try refreshing. See... Oh wait, let me save. Try refreshing and see if it appears on the channel. I'm just curious. I don't think it'll work because I'm doing everything locally right now. I'm running it on localhost. It's technically not hosted anywhere. I'd be very surprised if you could see it though, because then that means it would be tunneling my localhost somehow to like it would be exposing my localhost to Twitch. But I think once I get it into hosted mode, okay, you still don't see it. Okay, it kind of makes sense because I'm running it locally at the moment on localhost. Oh. But when we get a hosted version, it should show up with any luck. All right, let's go back. So let me do this. I wish I could get rid of these FFC. Oh, FFC is actually info, so I can actually get rid of those. I'm curious about this though, because this is where we get the information back from Twitch config. But is it listed as broadcaster? Panel, let's check what panel is. Panel, I think, is in view common. Or is it in viewer? This is what the viewer sees. So viewer. Oh, so it is the broadcaster still. And that doesn't really make sense to me, but you know what, we'll go with it. JSON pass. Object is possibly undefined. Oh, this could be undefined, right. So if this doesn't exist, then return. Otherwise, we have our saved restaurants. And what we want to do is saved restaurants. We just want to do the same thing basically. So here we had the restaurants we wanted to show. And instead of restaurant data, it will be it'll just be an array of restaurants basically. So by default we'll show all restaurants. Like so. So it's basically, this will be an array of restaurants like just Arby's, Burger King, Chipotle, blah blah blah. And that will be what we want to show. Oh, hold on. No, that's actually wrong. It will be restaurant data. Okay, restaurant data will be the default. Yes, actually that's right. Restaurant data will be the default, and then what we'll do is restaurants will be restaurant data. And so this is basically an alias. This is restaurant data. What we can do is we can use set restaurants to update that restaurant data, which is what we want. We want to filter out any of the restaurants that we haven't allowed or the streamer hasn't checked. So we do set restaurants. Restaurant data filter where restaurants saved restaurants or index of restaurant doesn't equal -1. So that's basically saying if this restaurant that we're iterating through right now doesn't exist in our saved restaurants, then we should filter it out. So if we refresh, we've only ticked Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, and Panda Express. Wait, where did panel go? Oh, did that uninstall it? Or did I not set it? I didn't activate it, okay. No, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Let's figure it out. Console log saved restaurants. Does this not get saved restaurants? Fresh. It did get the saved restaurants. Returning them here. The one in this set. Oh, I wonder if this is because this is too low. I should put these higher up. Let's refresh again. Bruh. It's literally right here. Let me log this. Oh, I'm an idiot. I didn't replace restaurants here. This is still restaurant data. Okay. This should work. Am I referencing? Let me check. Restaurant data anywhere else? Up there, there, there. Okay, that's it. One more refresh. Hey, okay, only showing the ones that we wanted to show. So if I now tick Subway and submit, it doesn't live refresh, which is slightly annoying, but if we hard refresh, now it shows Subway. Okay. You selected baked barbecue chips from Subway. Well, there you go. I guess it works. I'm glad that we have a better handle on this than in the thing that it gave us, at least. I mean, it's still good to reference, so this is still good, but yeah. Power of React. Neat. Right. Do we want to try the other option, or should we leave that for next time? I don't know. Uh-oh. What just happened? Oh, the index is all balked now. Oof. Okay, we need to fix that. Huh. We can't do things by index anymore, I don't think. Because... or can we? So instead of value, we should do group restaurant. And this should just be an empty string. And then these should just be an empty string. And this should be restaurants. Restaurants, find where restaurants equals restaurants. Object is possibly undefined. What? Oh, because find this might not find something. Let me think. how would we approach this? Maybe you could use memo. So we basically have a selected restaurant, which only changes when restaurant changes. And selected restaurants returns restaurants find, where restaurant equals restaurant. Selected restaurant could be undefined, or it could return the restaurant with the food items. So I can just now do selected restaurant and selected restaurant. So we know that this is defined. If this isn't defined, it's not going to show the thing. And actually I can do that, I can replace that here. Well, actually I don't even need this here. Can do the same for food. Selected food is the selected restaurant, food items, find where food. What? You don't have autocomplete? I guess you have a lot of different properties. Wait, why does it have any type? Food items be an array. Not an array. Food items should be... Is it because there's too many types? Shouldn't be. I mean, let's just test... actually, no. I don't understand. Hold on. Oh, wait. What if I update this? We actually need to change the value of this. We also need to change the value of this to be item food name. Oh, I know why, because selected restaurant is, it doesn't know what this is. So if I do if selected restaurant return undefined, otherwise return restaurants find restaurants. Food items. Wait. It's still confused. I'm confused. Why it's confused. I'm going to set this to any. Wait. Isn't food items always an array? Why can't I use find on it? Yeah, it is. Huh. I wonder if it's because selected restaurant may be undefined. Emulator, what's up? How is it going? I wanted to at least fix this before we hold it here. I don't know if we can. I'm just gonna hide this for now. And see if we at least got rid of the other error. Programmist, yes, kind of. I tried. Not the best, but you know. I try. You selected this restaurant. Selected restaurant. Restaurant. Let's see. Yes, I know about that. Oh god. It really wants me to sub, huh? It really wants me to sub, huh? Hello, can I... I'll mute myself. There we go. Okay, that seems to work fine. So basically we're not tracking by index anymore, we're just tracking the value itself. So where have I got use state? Somewhere up here. So by default it's an empty string, and what's going to happen is use selected restaurant, depending on the value of restaurant, which is a string, is going to try and find that restaurant. And if it can't find a restaurant, it's going to return defined. And if it's undefined, the selected restaurant, obviously it won't show this thing. So when we change the value of restaurant here, we do handle select restaurant. We set restaurant to be that string, so the string of the restaurant, like Arby's. In our use state, this gets changed to Arby's, and then our use memo is going to recalculate selected restaurant depending on the value of restaurant. So this, if this is now Arby's, is going to try and find Arby's restaurant, and now we have selected restaurant. So selected restaurant dot Arby's, or selected restaurant dot restaurant is the restaurant name, and then we should be able to also say food items. These are our food items. Can I do that? Let's see if I can. Oh, I can only well, you get the idea. But basically I have access to all of the same properties as if this was like, this is one instance of the restaurant. So what I'm trying to do now is do the same thing for food, but for some reason it's not giving me the same. When we change the food, okay, so let's step through this. You're Russian, no worries. I only know one word in Russian, which is privyet, or hello. Probably just butchered that as well. Let's step through this. Okay, so when selected restaurant is not undefined, when we do have a copy of a selected restaurant, we'll show this, which is working, as you can see. So next we want to do handle select food. So we're going through each copy of, or every food item in selected restaurant, and we're mapping out the food, so that's fine. Then we do handle select food. So handle select food sets the food to be the value food. The food name. And then we do selected food. So now I'm doing a second dependency selected restaurant, because when selected restaurant changes, the selected food is probably going to change as well, because two restaurants aren't going to have the same, well, the food offerings are going to be different. So this is probably, if selected restaurant is undefined, then we need to return that. So selected food, we want to return selected restaurant, food items, map, oh, why is it working now? It wasn't giving me that option before. I have no idea, whatever. Oh no, this is map. I'm mapping. I need to find. If I can map, then I should be able to find, shouldn't I? That doesn't make any sense. Selected food. Food items. Is it because not... Oh no, that doesn't make sense either. Okay, well, maybe I can try this. I can go food names equals selected restaurants, food items, map, food name. And I can go return food names, find where F equals food. It's like the most roundabout way of doing it. This is actually only going to give me the string, though. What if I just don't do this? Oh. What if I do this? Food name. Food name. Calories. Calories. And I go food name equals food. Then the selected food will give me calories and food name. At least have that. Let's see. I'm still muted. Why are there so many pop-ups? Select the restaurant. Subway. You selected this restaurant. Select the food. 6-inch roast beef. You selected this restaurant. Not a restaurant. You selected this food. 6-inch roast beef, which is 320 calories. Oh, okay, so it works. Calories. This is actually cleaner than this because now I don't... So I got that error before because the indexes were changing. And it's kind of like just being on a shaky tower, you know? It's like I'm going through this array and I'm saying, look at this index for this restaurant, go to its food items, look for this food, this index, and get the food name. Whereas I feel like this is cleaner because this is the food that is selected and this is the restaurant that is selected, and we have access to those properties on those things that we've selected. But technically I don't even need to check if selected restaurant and selected food exists. I can just check on selected food because from what we've implemented, selected food is automatically going to be undefined if selected restaurant. Like, the food can't exist if the restaurant doesn't exist, you know? So actually we can just say selected food. And then we can say you selected food. You know what? Let's just do this. And then let's do this. And then let's do this. You selected this food, selected food name, which is selected food calories, from selected restaurant. You selected this food, 6-inch roast beef, which is 320 calories from Subway. Hey. Very cool. So actually I can tick Chipotle, only Chipotle. Oh my god, why do those things keep popping up? I only have access to Chipotle. Then the foods, we can go steak salad. Steak salad, which is 315 calories from Chipotle. Yay! Okay, that's cool. Does this mean it's all working proper? Yes, I think so. I mean, of what we did up until last time, yes. We haven't done the back end bit, which would be saving the users. So I guess we could add the submit here, and then when the user hits submit, it would save their restaurant and food to a database. But we didn't get that far from the developer rig, so that's fine. We can do that next time. But we did get up to this, which is good. The only thing I would really like is if when updating in the configuration, you could, and you hit submit, it would update this live, but I guess that might be too much for Twitch to implement because it would require sockets for basically every channel, or every extension even as well. I guess we could always implement our own socket service if we really wanted to, but I'm not super inclined to do that. Check, select the restaurant you want. Cookout, Panda Express, Sonic. Submit. And then, hey. It updates, yay. You selected this food, corn dog, which is 230 calories from Sonic. Sockets, you say? How is your sockets? I think, didn't you say you got it working? Or at least you got the message coming in? It's a good thing, right? Alright, I think we'll be probably calling it there. I'm glad we got it working. I don't know what we'll do next time. Oh, next time we can do the oh, I wonder what we could do next time. The other idea is interesting. I wonder how we would go about doing that though. The dreary day today, and I feel a bit blessed. I haven't coded much today. Yeah, I definitely feel that. I definitely have days like that too. Wonder if, can I make this height 100? No, it's fine. I was just curious. Alright, in that case, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Pretty satisfied with managed to get that to work. I wasn't 100% sure it was going to be possible, but we did it. And we managed to get our stuff saving to the configuration service, which is good. Next would be interesting to play around with setting that custom data and also the database. I think what we'll do is the database first, then we'll come back around and we'll do the custom data and we'll see if we can save that. Because it might be that we need to save that on the database side rather than to Twitch. Now you help me get the socket live. It should be rather easy to just have React pass out the events the server sends down. Yeah, seeing everything come together will be super satisfying. Yeah, I look forward to it. Alright, in that case, I'm gonna peace out. Thank you for hanging out and walking through this with me. It was a lot of fun. We got some nice hardcore React stuff down too. I will probably be back. I don't know if I'll do another weekday stream this week. Maybe I might. Friday, possibly? Or even tomorrow, I'm not sure. But yeah. Probably the weekend, for sure. And that'll be fun. Right. Let's see if there's anyone live. Dream Elements is playing Uno again. Dream Elements. Who is maybe I could find someone in the software and dev category. See if anyone's doing JavaScript. Somebody's doing Vue. The screen says be right back, but they're already coding. Oh, it's no worries. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, this person is... Oh, this guy I'm already following is still streaming. Wow, he's streaming late. I'll go say hi to him and see if he worked out the problem. I think he was doing some Ember stuff earlier. Great, take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.